Agitating Farmers and Unyielding Government Hold to Their Guns by J.V. Lakshmana Rao. The prospects of resumption of talks between the leaders of Farmers Union and the central governments have looked bleak even as the farmers continued their agitation while the country celebrated Kisan Divas. The farmers have remained firm on their main one-point demand, asking the central government to withdraw its three new laws that the government claims to have been enacted to help the farmers. Additionally, the unions have demanded the government to revise the cost of production of agricultural produce that would increase minimum support price for the produce. As earlier talks remained deadlocked, the Union Agricultural Ministry sent a letter to 40 farmers' unions on December 20th offering the unions to fix a new date for talks according to their convenience. The ministry sought from the unions point-wise details of their objections against the new farm laws. But the leaders of the farmers, who have been stubborn on their one main point demand, asked the government to abandon its stubborn attitude and create an atmosphere of cordiality with an open mind that would lead to a purposeful dialogue. The leaders who have not spelled out clearly what they wanted out of the new laws but expressed their apprehensions against the content wanted the government to come out with a concrete written proposal for them to enter into any negotiations. The government has been repeatedly reiterating that the new laws are promulgated with an intention to protect and help the interests of the farmers. Obviously, the leaders of the farmers and their gullible followers have not gone through the new farm laws but misguided by their supporters and disgruntled opposition party leaders are now seeking from the government in writing a list of new proposals that it could offer. As earlier meetings between the farmers' leaders and the Union Home Minister Amit Shah and subsequently with Union Ministers Narendra Singh Tomar and Piyush Goyal remained deadlocked, Prime Minister Narendra Modi, in his 1 hour long virtual address to the farmers of Madhya Pradesh on December 18th, reiterated his government's commitment to the welfare of the farmers and explained how the three farm laws against which several thousands of farmers had been protesting for the past few days had been a step towards making farmers' lives better. These three laws had not been passed in Parliament in a hurry. There had been decades of discussions on them. Yet again, on December 23rd, the birth anniversary of 5th Prime Minister Chaudhry Charan Singh, the government offered to address afresh all the 9 crore farmers of the country on the Christmas Day, which is also the birth anniversary of former Prime Minister Atal Bihari Vajpayee. On that day, Narendra Modi addresses the farmer. Unfortunately, the farmer's agitation has become a shoulder on which the rich landlords, traders, commission agents, and some leaders of opposition party are placing a gun to fire a salvo at the government in the form of an agitation. Again, the agitation looks mainly confined to the area in and around Delhi and along the highways leading to outskirts of country's capital. Reports say that among the 40 unions of farmers that have been agitating, as many as 38 unions belong to Punjab. That is why the impact of current farmers' agitation is violent in Punjab and in parts of Haryana, and it manifests in the form of blocking highways leading to Delhi, thus interrupting the supply chains of goods and services to the country's capital. The impact of agitation is either minimum or completely absent in the southern states including Telangana, Andhra Pradesh, Karnataka, Tamil Nadu, and Kerala. For example, in the current harvesting season in the state of Telangana, It is stated that an estimated 70% of farmers' produce is truncated outside market yards, and hence the impact of the new Farmers' Produce Trade and Commerce Promotion and Facilitation Act 2020 is not significant. Therefore, there is a growing apprehension that the non-regulation of trade will impact the small and marginal farmers who sell their produce, particularly fruits and vegetables, in the farming villages where they are seasonally produced abundantly. These farmers fear and are not sure that new laws would guarantee any regulation outside market yard, and during the glut they expect the government to buy all the unmarketed excess produce at the guaranteed minimum supported price and save them from restoring to distress sale. Same is the situation in the highly farming states like Andhra Pradesh. Currently, fruits, green leafy vegetables, okra, cabbage, cauliflower, beans, including tomatoes, are produced abundantly. While tomatoes are sold by farmers at around a rupee a kilo at the farm to save on labor and transport costs, the same produce is passed through the hands of commission agent and traders and is sold at 30 rupees a kilo in cities like Hyderabad. This sort of transaction flattens the pocket of the middlemen, agents, and traders, leaving the farmers poor. During such a scenario, the government should come to the rescue of the farmers against their distress sale, and the new laws are expected to give such protection to the farmers. This is just one example. There could be many other reasons the small and medium farmers have been facing in the purchase of inputs like subsidized quality seeds, fertilizers, and pesticides. Understandably, all these problems have been thoroughly studied in the Swaminathan Commission report, and the reforms have been included in the three laws. Narendra Modi, in his speech on December 18th, said that the welfare of the farmers was the utmost priority of this government. Farmers should not believe the lies being spread over the new farm laws, and added, but still, after all these changes, if our farmers have any concern, we will bow our heads in front of them and will listen to what they have to say. Their benefit is our utmost priority. He said that the opposition parties intentionally did not work on the Swaminathan Commission recommendations. He slammed the opposition parties and allayed the rumors around the farm laws and compared his government's agriculture report card with that of the previous government. However, surprisingly, Rahul Gandhi, the former president of the Congress party, whose party had failed to implement the Swaminathan Commission recommendation, now offers to support the agitating farmers in the fight against the Modi government. But Narendra Modi said, I don't think they have problem with the farmers' reforms. They have problem with the fact that what they promised and could not deliver has now been done by Modi. In fact, the farmers organized an agitation under various umbrella groups on June 1st, 2018, demanding implementation of recommendations of the Swaminathan Commission. The Swaminathan Commission had identified certain causes for farm distress. These are unfinished agenda in land reform, quantity and quality of water, technology fatigue, access, adequacy and timelines of institutional credit, opportunities for assured and remunerative marketing, and adverse meteorological factors aggravate these problems. The Commission had concluded that farmers needed to have assured access and control over basic resources including land, water, bioresources, credit and insurance, technology, and knowledge management and markets. The Swaminathan Commission had also made the following suggestions: to distribute ceiling surplus and waste land among farmers. The share of bottom half of rural households in the total land ownership was only 3%, and the top 10% was as high as 54%. One of the demands of the agitating farmers is that they should be made the owners of the land they have been tilling for years, to prevent diversion of prime agricultural land and forecast to corporate sector for non-agricultural purposes, to ensure grazing rights and seasonal access to forests to tribals and pastoralists, and access to common property resources, to establish a national land use advisory service. This would have the capacity to link land use decisions with ecological, meteorological, and marketing factors on a location and season specific basis, to set up a mechanism to regulate the scale of agricultural land based on quantum of land, nature of proposed use and category of buyer, and to give farmers a minimum support price at 50% profit above the cost of production. Those who are spreading the farmers' agitation against the new farm laws should first study, clear the various clauses in them, and include their own reasonable demands to help the farmers, particularly the small and the marginal farmers. The Modi government also promises its support to such demands for the welfare of toiling farmers of the country. In this effort, there is no room, once again, in this effort, there is no room for politicizing the issue and continuing the agitation when country is facing several major issues that include tackling the COVID-19 pandemic and the excesses on the border by neighboring countries. The farmers should end the stalemate and now allow the government to function for the development of the country.